afternoon all. Well, we had about, what did we have, 36 hours of wet weather. If you look down here, you can see there's lots of seedlings coming through. It just shows you what a bit of rain will do. So there's all sorts of plants in there, and I think they're the ones what I've sprinkled seed on, so I've got to be careful when I go through all this to weed. You can see the Acrolegia, don't they look beautiful? They're the purple ones. I've got the poppies. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this is. What's this here, folks? I don't think it's a weed. Don't know what that is. You can see the Solomon's seal. Can't remember what that was at the back, growing up there. There's some more there. More Acrolegia. We've got some like whitey, pinky mixed in there. And what we've got in here, folks, we've got lots of seedlings appearing. So, God, look, the rain's flattened that. That's a, oh, look at that. That's not flattened, that's the starlings. Starlings done that. They've been scratching in there as well, look. Oh well, never mind. The actual bird thing what I've done here has been really doing a great job. And then let's go over here. And just look, we've got some lovely poppies out here. Just look at this. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Oh, Acrolegia at the back here. We've done well with that this year. And down here, and we've got some pinky one. No, not pink. Well, yeah, some pinky ones down there. Different stuff growing. And my job for today is to do the weeding, folks. So I thought I'd show you around before I get started. I'm not sure whether there's a lot I can do with this, to be honest, because there's so much stuff going on in here. I think I'm going to leave it like in a semi-wild state. These are the lavenders what I grew from seed a few years ago, and they've survived. The daisies here, just look at them. Aren't they beautiful? And over here, we've got the Sweet Williams starting to come. I do love those. There's quite a few in there. Again, bit of weeding. Bit of weeding to sort out, never mind. And then you can clearly see how the rain's affected all this area. And again, it's going to be a matter of trying to figure out what's a weed and what's not. So what I'll probably do is start with the obvious weeds, the dandelions, and that, get them out, and then just take it from there. Oh, it's quite warm now. Oh, and just look on the apple tree here, folks. Just look. Can you look at the apples? Look at that. God, haven't they grown in the since we did the last video? Wow. Oh, there's loads on there. I think we need to have a look at the other trees quickly. Let's have a look at this, the Lord Lambourne here. See if we can see any on here. Yeah, look. There we are. Look at that. Yeah, there's 5 apples on there, 6 apples on there. Very hard to. Oh, we've got some more up here. There. They're all hiding. They're all hiding. think they're all in inside. All hiding inside, I reckon. God, it's quite dense. Thought I'd done a good job of the pruning, but I'm not actually sure now. It does look quite lush. And just look at all these new shoots, how they've shot up. So there's not a lot of apples visible, but there are on the tree. I bet there's at least 50 high in the way. So that's it, folks. I'm going to crack on, and I'll have the video aiming at me as I'm doing the work. Okay, folks, you can just see me. I'm not sure whether I've got the angles right. Let's have a look. Just about. I think we'll aim it a bit lower. That's better. So I'm going to get on with the started on the weeds here, the ones which I know what's what. The typical ones like the dandelion. Now you go with dandelions, you've got long roots. You've got to try and get the roots out if you can. Quite often you can't, but try your best, because there's a little bit left in and that's just going to shoot. And this may sound stupid, but there are people out there who don't know anything about gardening. So if you're one of those people, just remember that weeds do grow back. So once you remove them, it's going to be a constant thing. You're always going to be keeping on top of it. You can't just remove them and think that your land's going to be clear. It's not. Believe me, there are people who think that way. We had somebody at the allotment. You'll find that we're always, our gardens are always evolving. We're always changing the ways we work and finding new things, and that's why it's always remains interesting. Now, as I've said before, but if you haven't watched my previous videos, this year I've sprinkled a lot of seed, and so the garden is going to be a bit more, less regimental, a bit more countrified, I should say, and so I'm going to leave certain things. I'm just going to get the ones what I know are definitely weeds out. Things what, because basically a weed is something what's not meant to be where it is. That's it. I mean, a weed can be anything, but so that's what I'm basically doing, removing things what I don't want in here. It's also the time to trim back the bluebells as well. we've got one down here. I don't think you can you see it? Yes, you can. You can see the top of it. So I'm just gonna trim back the foliage on that, just so it makes it look nicer. And I've got the secateurs for that. That's where the seeds would come from. It used to be the flowers, and they multiply so much. We've got them everywhere. Sometimes it's easier to use scissors and secateurs. Or just use your hand and pull them off. Everyone has different ways of doing this. I've said before, I love to just get down and use a trowel, but if you needed to do the whole area and you weren't too fussy about what was in there, you could quite easily use a hoe. can see me. Yes, you can. We've got all sorts of plants coming up here, which I know aren't weeds, so it's going to be quite exciting finding out what they are. Okay folks, I'm going to switch it off a bit and then we'll come back in a bit when I've got something a bit more interesting to film. Well, here are folks. It's not spotless, as I said, because there's seedlings growing in here, so I've got out the bulk of the stuff and I've left some plants which I know are a plant and not a weed. There are weeds still in there, I'm not being too finicky. I've gone through the back of the beds as well, and I've cleared it all at the back, and it's getting a bit warm now, but I wanted to show you something. I'm just gonna, hang on, I'll be back in a minute. Okay folks, sometimes when you do a bit of weeding, you find a few things you don't expect. And look what I've just found. I've got I've got 5 conker trees. They've shot up from last autumn. Now the other thing is, where did the conkers come from? There can only be 2 things. We've got a conker tree at the back of next door's garden, but they wouldn't blow this far over. So there's 2 reasons for this. One, the squirrel has been burying them to come back to later time, or 2, somebody's been throwing them over. But anyway, we've got 5, which I thought I'd have a go at potting up. Who knows, somebody might want them. certainly don't want them in the garden. Got enough with that one over there, it's massive. I don't know how long these take to grow, but I assume that's 1 year, 1 foot. I say 1 year, it's 6 months, isn't it? When the conkeys come in October, it's about 6 months, and it's grown a foot, 30 centimetre. So there you are, folks. I'm now going to go in now. I'm getting too hot. Can you see the sweat? So I should be back doing a bit more possibly tomorrow. So for now, goodbye. Well, folks, I'm in the kitchen, but I'm not going to show you how I'm doing everything, but I'll just show you we have to do different meals here. So for me, I've got some lamb steak, roast potatoes and gravy. And then for Mum, I've got some mushrooms, some fried potatoes cooking away. And in the oven, she's got a quiche and an apple crumble. So yeah, so it's all about timings, really. Get the timings right, you're all right. So sometimes you have to compromise, because like I've got 2 different things in the oven. The one wants to be on 6, the other one on 5, so I just stick it on 6. It should be fine. I just worried for a second that it weren't on, but it is. I always set the timer on my phone, so I don't miss critical times. The beauty of having a halogen oven is that it's all, you've got the timer on the top, so you can't really go wrong with that. So that's it, folks. I'm going to have a nice dinner today, and hopefully Mum will enjoy hers, and she's got the apple pie for afters. And I shall carry on doing some, just relax for a few minutes while it's cooking. So here's one of the meals done, folks. You can see it down here, the quiche, the mushrooms and the fried potatoes, and that's Mum enjoying it. I've told her if she eats it all, then she can have some apple pie after. And now 1 hour later, folks, and you can see my dinner's all served up. That will keep me going for the rest of the day. Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Well, it does to me.